Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Little Big Authors. Today, joining us is Rodney Freeman Jr., a librarian and archivist. He is the creator of the popular Facebook pages, The Black Male Archives, and Powerful Women of Color. Everyone, let's welcome Rodney Freeman Jr.
Hey,
Hey, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing your book with us. I'm so excited about Little Rodney the Librarian. Yes, I also
Yes,
have my
yes,
copy as
yes.
well. So I'll be following
Awesome.
along later on.
Thank you.
But before we get started with the book, can you tell us about your journey to in librarianship?
Yes, yes. Which is it's kind of weird how I got into the library world because I was studying at the library for my LSAT to go into law school.
Oh,
And I needed a job just to get, some money. And I have been it's funny, have been getting rejected because I had my master's in public administration. So I had put in tons of job applications and been getting rejected. And I was just like, well, I guess another one won't hurt. So I went to the library. I put one in for a page just to put books up on the shelves.
okay.
And in the interview was funny. The person that was hiring me, she was like, well, you might be kind of overqualified for this position. So I was like, oh, okay, well, it's a wrap. But she was like, I think you'll be good in the library world. So, to kind of get your feet wet and everything. So she gave me my first job and I started off as a page, and from there just was able to, have a career and mostly management. But I started off as a cataloger and then
Mhm.
went to become a branch manager, and then I became a administrator, and then became a assistant professor, and now I'm here working on books in the archives at UNC Charlotte. So
Okay, so your path took a different turn, but it was the one for you, obviously.
yes, yes, oh definitely. Oh, I always say that I love the profession that that I'm in, the being able to share information and help people find information. I love that, without a doubt. And I've had some really great experiences and just some, I wouldn't be able to kind of do some of the things that I love doing now,
Hmm.
like the Black Male Archives, Powerful Women of Color,
Hmm.
if I hadn't been in the library world. So yeah,
Right.
I love it.
Okay. Well, we definitely appreciate you. So, Little Rodney the Librarian, what inspired you to write this book?
Oh, okay. So, I always and it kind of goes back with the Black Male Archives because I wanted to show Black men in a positive light, and I wanted to show young Black males in a positive light. And one of the things that for me growing up, I moved around a ton,
Okay.
and it was always I had to get into sports if I wanted to fit in.
Hmm.
But I was a comic book nerd, right? Like off the bat, I love comic books, and I love, sitting home sometimes watching. I remember watching Wheel of Fortune with my grandma and watching Jeopardy. So I was a nerd, really, at heart.
Hmm.
But when I was growing up, I couldn't really let that out, right? So I feel like today in today's world, people are more accepting and just being able to put those stories out about showing little Black boys in a positive light as being leaders, as being librarians, people that are helping other people access information. I think that's very powerful. So I was just like, well, let's do it. If I could do it when I was younger, I could put it in the book.
I think this is a really cool book, especially to see little Black boys to show them they could do something outside of sports and
Right.
that they're wanted and needed in something outside of sports. And just to expand them. So I'm excited. I'm going to be following along in my book. So I will let you take this away with Little Rodney the Librarian.
All right, all right. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Little Rodney the Librarian, written by Rodney E. Freeman Jr. That's me, and then the illustrator Eduardo Pa. And he is from Mexico City, and he did a really great job on this. So I want to say thank you for that. So Little Rodney the Librarian, and I did put a reference in here, And to my son, always tell your own story and look to God as your point of reference. All right. As we get to the first page, here we go. Okay, if you guys can see this. So, do you know where you can find the best adventures? At the library. That's where we find our librarian, Little Rodney, getting ready to help people find books with amazing adventures. Let's catch up with him in his treehouse library before he sets out on another mission to help his neighborhood friends. Hey, little Rodney, can you help me find a book for my little brother? Says Chloe. Step into my office, says little Rodney. Okay, Chloe, we're going to ask you a couple of questions to see what book your brother needs. That's fine with me, Chloe responds. What information is he looking for? Little Rodney asks. Something about outdoor bugs that eat paper. Uh oh. Uh oh. Horrified, little Rodney responds, a bug that eats paper? That is crazy. They might even eat my library books. Uh-oh, we don't want that. We don't want that. I know just how to look for that. Luckily, my computer glove can find anything and it helps when I need to move around. Uh-huh. So for you guys older in my generation, you kind of know what this glove is. And it helps when I need to move around. Let's see. I'll use the keywords that you just gave me: bugs, paper, and outdoors. I found something. 3 books that might interest you, little Rodney excitedly explains. Let's take a trip to find out which one you want to check out. Step into my office, little Rodney says, laughing. Please take a seat and buckle up, little Rodney says with a big grin. All right, I'm ready, Chloe shouts. The reference desk magically transforms and drops into the middle of the tree, where they are immediately transported into the first book world. Little Rodney activates TP Verso, the computer that helps them find their way through each book. Hello, little Rodney. I see you're on another one of your adventures for your library, TP says in a courtesy voice. And who do we have here with you today? Asked TP. This is my friend Chloe, and she would like to check out one of these books. How can we check out one? Little Rodney asked. Miss Chloe will have to find the name of the author, the book subject, and the call number, TP explains. How am I supposed to find that? Chloe nervously asked. I know just where to look on the title page, little Rodney reassures Chloe. Little Rodney, remember, if you do not find the information in time, you'll be trapped in the book. Oh, since the titles of your books are about bugs eating paper, please make sure you are not eaten by one. Little Rodney, my brother needs to finish his project or else he will not be able to go on our family camping trip, says Chloe. No problem. We'll get home with a little time to spare. My book navigation map says that we should be coming up on the author's name now. They got to get that book. They got to get that book to check it out. As the desk quickly finds out where the first book information is located, they have arrived too late and see that the beetles have eaten the information. They quickly hop into the next book and locate the information that they need, but they're too late. Again, they're too late. The moths have eaten it. The reference desk transports them to the last book where they encounter. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Worms, shouts Chloe. Bookworms. They eat any information they can find. They love paper. The librarian's arch enemy. Wait, I can see the subject. This is the one I need to check out, says Chloe excitedly. Woohoo! Yes, let's put the information into the computer, exclaims little Rodney. Thank you for the information. Please take please take your checkout receipt. Your book is due 3 weeks from this date. Thank you for visiting the library, TP says. Good job, Chloe, on selecting your book. I knew you could do it. See you back in a couple of weeks. Bye, little Rodney. Thank you, Chloe says. Little Rodney, I need your help to find a book, Jordan says. See Jordan coming up over here? Little Rodney gives a big smile and says, I can help. That's it. That's the end. Little Rodney the Librarian. Thank you, guys. Yay!
Thank
You.
you. That was amazing. Little Rodney the Librarian. How
Yes.
exciting.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also love this book because it speaks to the future of the library and
Mhm.
how we've like the transitions we've made and where we're going. You know,
Mhm.
we no longer use the card catalogs. We still have people coming in asking about the card catalogs,
Yeah. Yep.
but
Yep.
we have computers now. You can search for books on the computer with our catalog,
Mhm.
ebooks and audiobooks and apps. And yeah, Blue Writing is cool.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I love. That really made me want to get into the library. I remember when I was working at Kankakee Public Library,
Hmm.
and saw how they had a group sit down and talk about their World War II stories. And then I saw how the assistant director there at the time basically was able to create this like PBS type of documentary style of their stories, and I was just like, "Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like, using the new technology or the emerging technologies and putting it with like some historical context." I was like, "Oh, I got to do this." So yeah.
Yes. So I know this isn't the first time that you've read Little Rodney the Librarian. So what kind of responses have you had from parents and little kids?
This is actually my first time. I read it to my son a lot though.
Okay.
So my son is 7 months.
Start them early.
Yes, and he
We
sits
love it.
there and he's just like, and he likes to turn the pages and grab the pages. I've had some friends who said that they really love this book. I did write another book before this one, but I think this one just it has just this imaginative adventure, that is I think is just it's different from my first one, and
Hmm.
I think this one has more bandwidth when it comes to some of the adventures that we're going to try, because I already have the idea for the next one. Trying to find uh a rare book kind of like Indiana Jones style,
Oh,
and little Rodney now will have a team with him. So, I think this one I'm really excited to do some more spin-offs
oh,
of. So, yeah, I'm
well,
excited for
I'm already excited. We're definitely going to put you on the books for the next one.
it.
Because I'm a huge fan of Indiana Jones. So no
Yeah.
matter how old the movie is, so I can see that working out for you with this character. Um, so now, well, actually, I would like for you to talk more about the Black Male Archives and
Powerful women of color, yes.
powerful women of color. My apologies. Mhm.
Yes. So okay, so the Black Male Archives was a website that basically was designed to capture all these positive stories about Black men. One of the things that I saw is just a narrative in the news and the mainstream media that I didn't agree with. Every time we saw a black man, it was, the angry black man, or, you know, dealing with crime. And I was like, there's so many, stories, true stories about black men who are fathers, who are animators, who are skateboarders, just doing positive stuff in the community. So I was just like, you know what? How about I start a platform where people can find all these positive stories about black males, young and old,
Mhm.
and where we can just basically tell them where they can go and read these stories. And then we also started writing some original content. And then we also, now what I'm really excited about is that we have taken some black inventors, and then we've taken their invention and recreated their invention in like a 3D asset form, so then they can be able to explore that. So like the guy who invented the super soaker, we
Mhm.
have a 3D replica of that.
Okay.
The guy who invented the gas mask or the riding saddle, like some inventions people don't even know about. We use the mailbox every day. That was a black man that invented that. So so it's so yeah, we're doing that. And I think, again, all this is just to show black men in a positive light. And so so that was our flagship database website.
Mhm.
And then we said we definitely have to have one for black women and women of colors, because it's very important. You need to have a brother sister platform. So we just launched the beta version of that, and we'll do the same thing that we did with the Black Male Archives. We're going to do that with the Powerful Woman of Color. Show these positive stories. There was this one story that I just saw, who black woman from Tennessee State, who just found a new element on the periodic table, which is exciting.
Yeah.
The black woman who was helping out with the COVID virus. And so it's all these stories that need to be captured and preserved, so
Mhm.
people can be able to refer back to them. Because that's another thing too. People think that the internet is so everything's going to be saved on the internet. That's not true. There's a lot of things that we've preserved since we've started this, that when you go to the link, you can't find the story there anymore. So, that's one of the reasons why we need to make sure that we're preserving this history, and we're preserving it on other platforms that are not on the mainstream platform. So, people can't tell us what we can save and what's our history. We can be able to tell what's our history, and we can say, no, this is what we want to say is our history, and we have say so in that. We control the narrative. So yeah.
Absolutely. During my the last show we had, I spoke with the young lady, Jasmine Jones, and we were basically talking about her book, is Black History 365 series, and we just talked about how Black history, while it may be celebrated in 1 month, it's every day. We learn about Black history every day, and um, and to bring your work into it is also very important, because you are preserving Black history as we speak,
Hmm.
throughout the whole year. So I
Hmm.
just want to just say thank you,
Oh,
and we
thank you.
really appreciate your work.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
that. Thank you. Thank
All
you. I appreciate
right.
it.
So now, where can people find you?
So, okay, yes. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, the Blackmail Archives. I think Instagram is the Blackmail Archives 18, but on Facebook and LinkedIn is just the Blackmail Archives.
Okay.
Now, for Powerful Women of Color, we are on Facebook and Instagram at the Powerful Women of Color. Yeah, and we also have a podcast for the Black Male Archives. We are on all the major platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we've interviewed a nice amount of authors. Jerry Craft is actually the last author that well, I would say the New York Times best-selling author that we've interviewed. We
Okay.
interview self-published mainstream authors all the time, and all of them have like powerful stories and how they got into writing. And not only authors, but we also interview people who are engineers, ranging from teachers, everybody that's on, people who are just making positive impacts in their community.
Love it. Love to see that you're actually being the change you want to see and putting those stories out there as well. So thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Thank you.
So just to let you all know, little Rodney the Librarian is at the library right now. We have a sticker on it, a barcode. There we go. It's
Yes.
ready for you to check out. So please come and bombard us with all your requests for this book. Now, if you want to actually have the book for your home, you can find the book. Where can they find the information to have the book in their home to have for forever?
Sure. They can go on to the blackmailarchives.com and then it'll refer them from there. But yes, check out the Blackmail Archives and we have information on how they can obtain the book.
All right. Thank you so much. All
Thank
right.
you.
So now that that is over, I told you I had a trivia question
Uh-oh.
for you. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. So the question is, who was the first African American professional librarian? Professional
Oh.
trained librarian.
I forget his last name. His name is Edward. I can't think of his last name, but he is in the Blackmail Archives.
So I'll let you have it for this one. You got it. So it is Edward Christopher Williams.
That's it.
Absolutely. So for all of you who are not familiar with Edward Christopher Williams, he is the first African American professionally trained librarian. He began as an assistant librarian in Hatch Library of Western Reserve University. After 2 years, he was promoted to library director. In 1898, he took a sabbatical or leave to pursue a master's in librarianship at New York State Library, completing a 2 year program in 1 year. And later in 1916, Williams was elected head librarian of Howard University.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man.
Yes.
I was actually doing some research. We're doing going to be doing a documentary about the Black experience in librarianship, and yeah, he was one of the people that I had in mind. That's why I knew his first name, but I can't. I should have remembered that second name, and I would have got the whole thing right.
Well, thank you again for joining us, Rodney. I look forward to sharing your next book, and like I said, I'm excited to share that as well. So,
Thank
thank you
you.
for joining us.
Hey, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity. I really do appreciate you guys reaching out and anything I can do. But thank you.
Thank you. Well, you all, that is all that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Little Big Authors. For all programs and any information concerning the library, please visit cmlibrary.org/events. I'll see you next time.